Hello everybody and welcome to round 7 I believe of FRS. We're here tonight at Spa. Um yeah, I'm not sure if the stream is going to last the whole race because there's a raging thunderstorm outside my house and the power keeps going out, so if I do disappear at some point I'll try and get the stream back up, but if I can't then I do apologise, it's out of my hands. But anyway, Spa, here the longest track on this calendar. Yeah, we've got some new faces. VSR Schumacher, this is Wayne. And also we have a few name changes. Oh, and Sterling West as well. We have some name changes. The random bloke, that is me, Lewis Hamilton. Do we have any other? IRT Little F1, that's a simple name change, just an F1 at the end. I don't think we have any other name changes. I don't think. But anyway, here we are, Spa. I think Onyx is going to be our first driver to set a lap. I think he's just starting one actually. So I'm on board with Onyx for a lap of Spa Francorchamps, or whatever you say, I'm not 100% sure. You better oversteer out of turn 1. Probably not going to be the best run up Eau Rouge and down the Kemmel Straight. Down the, I believe this is the longest straight. If you're not counting that back straight, because obviously it has 2 kinks in it. But into turn 4, I believe, turn 5 and turn 6, all fast left or right handed. Gets a bit wide into the gravel and the grass, so probably not the fastest way round. Through this corner, I don't remember the name of it. I want to get wide on the X, but not on that curve, so that curve doesn't really help the run. Through No Name, quite good. Now coming down into the one of the fastest corners on the track, you don't really want to brake, you kind of want to shift down, engine brake to get the car turned in. Now, brake 50-meter board, right-hander, doesn't really get the curving he would like. Josh, 5-place grid penalty, and Onyx's wheel came off from not even hitting the wall. As Josh has a 5-place grid penalty, and the random bloke retired, so I'm not quite sure what's gone on there then. We have other people on laps. I think Little's on a lap on the softs. Who else is on the lap? Deneen, I think, is just coming to the end of his lap. And it is a 42.8, the first lap on the board from Deneen. Not a bad lap. Probably not going to get in the pole though. Who's next across the line? I think Luca might be near the end of his lap, coming to the final chicane on this set of softs. In fact, that was an out lap, so that's not going to challenge the top of the leaderboards, but he might have actually held up Medium Pilot. Technique goes first. And Medium Pilot, there's a 42.8, so poor lap from Medium Pilot. Probably suggesting got held up somewhere or made a mistake. Josh with invalid or a out lap. And Ruff is starting lap. Sterling West, he's probably going to be up there. Got a podium in ILR on Sunday. Beating me by 4/10 for the podium. Devastating. But he is, I think, starting lap, maybe finishing one. I take that he's starting one because that's not optimal pace. Josh has retired. Maybe that's up Eau Rouge. Let's go on board with someone going up at all mine. Looks at 45 dead, so that's absolutely nowhere. Who's near the end of a lap? Wayne coming towards the end of a lap. And he goes P2, 1.3 seconds off Technique. Who else have we got out on the lap? VG Hamilton, no, lap. Raff is on the lap, but he's out of the RS. So, I don't think it's going to be competitive. As CPI Mir's gone P2 actually. But Raff is going to come to the pits. Fletcher on the lap, what can he do? The Mercedes driver. And he's going to pit. Sterling West. Where can he get on the soft tyres? It's going to be P6 with a 4.30. What tyres everyone set their laps on best. So Sterling West the fastest soft runner with Lickle second fastest, a good 2 seconds off, so quite a gap between the two soft runners. But a lot of people are tight, so I'm not sure what's going on there. BG Hamilton jumps up to P6 with a 42.9. Sorry about that. Here's how Schumacher just starting a hot lap, I believe. So Schumacher coming up into Eau Rouge and Radion, I think. Abiodun has left the session. Hopefully he can get back in before the race. Let's have a look what that penalty is about for Josh. Grid penalty. Collision with the random bloke, so I'm not sure. There might be a report in the steward's office. Ooh, as Schumacher gets oversteery. Abiodun's joined back. I wonder what happened to him. Hopefully no internet issues. I'll get the tables up actually and run you through the tables. Tables are. Oh, actually, is that? I don't think there are recent tables actually. So tables from round 5, but I don't think the tables after round 6 have been done. So that's a shame. But Schumacher's like must have gotten valid. I wasn't looking. Actually, look how close that is between Medium Pilot and Deneen. That's really close. And Lickle's on a super soft lap. Where can this move him up to? Let's have a look at the first sector. 30.0. Let's compare that to Techniques. It was a 29.4, so not a very good first sector from Lickle. Bit of a lock up into that corner as well. So not the perfect lap from Lickle. Definitely a good bit of time left in this lap. Oh, wow, that was very out of shape. Is he's actually in 2 ERS, is that? Yeah, he's in medium ERS, so clearly not pushing to the max. Nothing to overtake now though, so maybe he might be pushing, I'm not 100%. As it is raining actually. So driver's not going to be able to improve on lap times. So this could actually be our grid. As Schumacher gets pole by 3/10. as Little doesn't even does improve by almost 2 seconds, but doesn't move them up any position. So, oh no, as Little bottled disqualifying. The rain's coming down. Who else is on a lap? I think Technique might be coming to the end of the lap. Yellow flags. Can't see any reason for the yellow flags, so we'll go back and watch his Technique. What can he set? Hopefully he's not going to be held up by BT Hamilton. Coming out the final corner, can this get him P1? No, doesn't even improve, so the wet conditions hampering people's lap times. Little runs wide. Ooh. I just got the end of that, didn't see how he lost it. Bit wide there for medium pilot. Wayne I think might be coming to the end of the lap. So can he get on the grid? It's the 71,000th improvement, doesn't move him up, but it's an improved time, which could maybe help him defend off medium pilot, who is at 3,000th up on his lap, so a small improvement. Can he gain in the last sector to get up? Ahead of 6th place. No, he's going to pit. Slickle is out, so Husky retired because he knows conditions are not improving. A lot of people retiring, so don't think conditions are going to improve. Yep, everybody retiring. And I think that was a celebratory spin there from Fletcher. I don't know why, but now he's going to crash on purpose. Incredible driving here from an esports team driver. Look at that, wow. Absolute scene. I don't think anybody is actually trying to improve. Some people are going to go for it, but don't think it's going to be possible. Wayne scraping the wall as he comes in the pit. Oh, Technique crashes in the pit. Sterling West retiring. So we're only waiting for a few people to retire now. Hopefully they can all just retire so we don't have to wait the extra 2.5 minutes. So we're only waiting for Schumacher now. And he has retired. So he's qualified over and done with for round 7. Or a wet, partially wet session. Interrupted many drivers' quali laps, such as Little Locks and Medium Pilot. They're not going to have a good qualifying session. They're going to have to work their way up through the field in the race. So our grid is VSR Schumacher on pole, Technique Racing, P2, Rafa P3, Amir P4, Wayne P5, Media Pilot P6, Deneen 7th, VT Hamilton 8th, Sterling West was out, not a very good qualifying from him. ILR2 Little rounds out the top 10, so CPI Fletcher, he will be able to start on fresh tyres in 11th. The random bloke, P12 with no time. Josh with a 5 days good penalty, P13, so he will be starting last. Abiodun will be starting 13th, being promoted due to Josh's penalty, and Onyx Mir will be starting P14. So that is your grid for round 7 here in Belgium. Hopefully we have a good race in our hands. Everyone's starting on Supersofts, interestingly. Oh, this has thrown the cat amongst the pigeons. Wow, this looks full wet. I don't think this is Inter's. This looks full wet. This could be very interesting for this race. Be interesting to see what tyres they're starting on. Will it be Inter's or will it be wets? Personally, it looks wet. I can see some wet tyres in the garage there. If you look in Technique's garage, there are some wet tyres there. This could be very, very interesting. So, what tyres is it? It looks wet. It is wet tyres for absolutely everybody, and Jesus! Schumacher getting all out of shape. So you have a Red Bull off on the formation, like that's that braking board gone. Rest in peace, anybody using no racing line. Excuse me. So this should be fun. Maybe a big first lap crash at Eau Rouge on the cards. As we have Denis gone off. Nobody's crashed though, so that's positive. Look how wet this is. The spray's going to be absolutely insane coming into turn 1. A car pulled over. I didn't quite catch that, but I'm not actually 100% sure on strategy for wet. I don't know if they can get to the end. Obviously the rain might clear up, might get heavier. I'm not sure. But conditions look very tricky already on this formation. I've seen cars go wide as Liquid's been disqualified. This, I'd say get your popcorn, because I would place money on not every car making it out of the first sector in a rain-ridden Belgian Grand Prix. Although there are some patches of blue sky, well not anymore, but there was back there, so maybe we might see the rain clear up, but I doubt it. So, as we come round to the grid for the start of this Belgian Grand Prix, it's going to be VSR Schumacher, debut pole, but can he turn it into a win? Hope we get a better camera angle than this. That's better. So, as the lights are going to come on for the Belgian Grand Prix, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we are go here in Belgium. Looks a good start from everybody, nice and clean. Hopefully no contact before turn 1. There's actually Technique's getting swamped on the outside by, who is that? It is Rafa actually. So it's all clean through turn 1, I believe. Yep, all seems quite clean. Coming down into turn 1, it's a Schumacher leading Technique and Amir side by side. Kept it clean though. Is there going to be any crashes? No, everyone's kept it clean. Great driving from this FRS lot. Schumacher's managed to pull quite a nice lead, but Amir is putting pressure on Technique. He's not managed to do it though, as Wayne's actually had a look and he's lost position from it. Actually, we have a crash. It's Lickle. Lickle is round. I'm not quite sure what's happened there, as Amir is going up the inside of Technique for P2. Is he going to manage to hold it? He's going to be on the outside for No Name, so I'm going to say he might get washed wide. No, he's actually held it. Oh! Technique has to move out of the way to avoid contact there. Coming into P1 for the first time. How hard will these drivers attack? All seems quite clean actually. So, oh, there's a bit of a battle here going on for P11 between Onyx, Abiodun and Josh. And has Wayne had an incident? I'm not quite sure. He seems to be alright though. And let's have a look. Has Lickle got any damage? I think he might be alright, so hopefully he can come back in this race. As Schumacher's pulled a nice lead. Amir comfortably P2. Technique comfortably P3. Medium Pilot's quite close to the back of Rafa. And Abiodun on Josh actually. No, Abiodun on Onyx, sorry. Might go for a lunge into the bus stop, maybe. He is going to go for it. He's going to avoid contact, maybe a little bit of contact, as the random bloke has a 10-second goal on the cutting penalty. And Abiodun is round. Keeps out of the wall, but he's round. So, the two admins of this league at the back. I'm not quite sure, I didn't see it. I was distracted by that 10-second time penalty. Great camera angle. Really shows you how steep Eau Rouge is, and actually Medium Pilot's got a really good run on Rafa as the random boy put a 5-second penalty for corner cut and gaining a position. Wayne having a look at Deneen as well. Nope, not going to manage to make the move. Lickle already making up some more positions. There's a bit of a battle going on for the final podium position. Oh no, Rafa! What's happened there? And Deneen's off as well. Two identical incidents on the same lap. Wow. I'm not quite sure what's happened. I think they've both got away without damage though. Ooh! Hamilton's round, and the Toro Rosso's taken a void in action. Oh! Big crash! I think Sterling West just got away without hitting Onyx there, but the random bloke hasn't, and he's in the wall and out of this race. Onyx Mir's got a 5-second penalty for a severe collision though. Who was it who spun? It was Amir. Oh no, VG Hamilton. But I think he's not got any damage, so I think he might be alright. As, oof, Onyx almost taken out Abiodun. Sterling West on Deneen. Huge accident there at Pouon. As round the outside he's going to try. It's going to be the inside line, but Deneen breaks late. I think a bit too late. He's going to go deep. Maybe a penalty for his troubles? Nope. Deneen doesn't get a penalty but loses a lot of time. It's going to allow Lickle past. Josh is going to have a look as well. It's actually Medium Pilot on technique. And CPI Fletcher. Could we see 3 wide in the rain? Nope. Bit of a train forming then. Behind technique. But travesty for the Toro Rosso pairing. Neither scoring any points. Lickle's actually had an alright comeback actually, going down to 15th at the end of the first sector, back up to P9, only 4 tenths behind 8th. Have a look at Fletcher on the back of Medium Pilot. I don't think there's really going to be much action, because Dirty Air is pretty horrendous. Medium Pilot, 4 tenths behind technique, but losing time. But he ran a bit wide, but he has the gap to not let the mistake matter too much. Lickle and Sterling West going at it. Lickle goes off track. VSR Schumacher setting a PB as we have cars in. Amir and Wayne and Technique all into the pits. Lickle's coming in, so Sterling West. Is Lickle going to go into the wall nearly? We have quite a few cars pitting for intermediates. I didn't see the rain lightening up actually. I thought the rain still looked about the same heaviness. So, can this inter strategy work in jumping the leaders? Is that Odin struggling a bit out the pit? So is Amir, so Sterling West. Sorry if I cough a bit, I'm not feeling too good. Got a bit of a tickly throat. Sterling West on the back of Hamilton, going to get a nice bit of slipstream. Going to decide to back out of it. That's a smart driving there from Sterling West. Decided to go cautious rather than lose time battling. But these five who have stuck out on the wet tyres, I'm not sure how they're going to compare to the Interrunners. But Amir seems to be catching Josh at a rate of knots. He's got so much more grip. Where is the leader? The leader is probably going to pull him to the pits this lap. No! Staying out. And Amir's got the move done on Josh. There's medium pilot stayed out, but Fletcher's in, Rafa's staying out. So why would these guys stay out? Are they going to start to try and make their inters last to the end when they do decide to pit for inters? Josh is going to come in. I'm not too sure how long the pit stop is around here, but I assume it's about 19 seconds. So what is the gap between Amir and Schumacher? The gap to the leader is 20.8 seconds, so I'd say that is around about our pit stop. As that Mercedes looks to have made a little bit of a mistake going up our roof. As we have Wayne on the back of Fletcher, gonna look for a move. Decides to back out. What has happened to Sterling West? Because I thought he was up there, now he's behind Hamilton. Not sure. It might be my imagination, but why not? Have a look at lap delta to see. Let's have a look at this. Oh, was that medium pilot making a bit of a mistake? I think it might have been actually. So let's have a look on that time. Here's how Schumacher's going to do. If he does decide to stay out, which he does. So for Schumacher, it looks like it's going to be about a 1. Oh, we have yellow flags. It looked like it was for Josh. But what Schumacher setting at 59.6. What's his teammate going to set? Oh, it's slow lap for medium pilot to 21.6. 2 seconds off. 20.7 for Rafa. But what is Amir going to set? Very quick lap there from Amir. A lot faster than Schumacher. Like about over a second faster, I believe. As we have this 3-car train carrying on. Wayne picking up a penalty though. Nobody's getting enough of a run to make any moves. But this gap is continuing to come down a little bit. If there is time to be found, it will be in this middle sector. The intermediates will be a lot faster than the wets due to just the grip. As you can see, a lot of time taken out of the leader there. Around about 5 tenths so far during this sector alone. This strategy from the top guys, it's a very risky strategy. Because they don't want to come out into traffic and get held up on their one stop. So let's have a look what Schumacher's lap time going to be this time. I forgot what he said last time. I was actually no, he's going to peel into the pits. I think he's realised how much time he's losing, so I'd assume medium pipe's going to have to stay out. Safety car! Josh has retired, so perfect timing for all these guys to peel in. Because I don't think Amir's going to be able to jump them. Because safety car conditions do not apply in the pit lane. Disaster for Amir. Amir's going to pit for a fresh set of inters, I assume. As VG Hamilton's going to pick up a drive-through penalty. So Technique and Fletcher decided to stay out. Schumacher's quite in the lead. Is medium pilot going to come in P2 or will it be Technique? Who's going to cross the white line first? It will be... Ooh. Fletcher just jumped medium pilot by a few tenths. Everyone else seems to be pitting. Sterling West is going to come in. Sorry, not the Dean. Oh, Deneen hits the rear tyre on the pit wall. But this is going to bunch everyone up. VG Hamilton jumps Wayne, Lickle, Abioden. So the leader, Schumacher, saved, to be honest, by a safety car. Technique behind on 3 lap old tyres. Now this could be race critical whether Technique can get the move on Schumacher on that opening lap after this safety car. This should be fun. Hopefully we can have a nice clean safety car restart. As Schumacher's getting very close to the back of that safety car. If he hits, I believe he gets disqualified. Or at least a drive-through penalty. It's a very severe penalty for hitting the back of the safety car. We almost saw Lewis Hamilton do at Silverstone in 2016, I believe. Got the safety car going round. I believe the safety car came out for Josh retiring. Not sure how he retired. I don't know if it was manual or a crash. You can see Schumacher revving out the engine, getting it with wheel spin to generate some heat into those rear tyres. So the back of the pack still needs to catch up to the safety car. Only lap 7 here in Spa. As the safety car's going to stay out for another lap as Lickle and Avioden are having a battle. Hopefully they can all just stay in the correct order. And the back markers are just catching up to the pack now. So there we go. Everybody is in formation. I assume the safety car will come in at the end of this one. Look how many cars there are in just a few seconds of each other. When we go green here at Spa, this should be very interesting. Bit of a check up there in the safety car line. Not sure if anyone got any damage. People might want to spread out a bit to make sure their front wings stay safe. So as we go, look for the lights on top of the safety car. If they go out, then we are going racing again at the end of this lap. And the safety car lights are out. The safety car is going to zoom off. Schumacher is now our pace setter. Full technique, getting a big slide on there. I think Schumacher needs to slow down a bit, otherwise we're going to have a massive check-up. So the safety car peels in, and we are go here in Spa, and technique gets a lot of oversteer on the restart. It's going to allow Fletcher to get through. DG Hamilton pitched, so he must have got damage under the safety car. But VSR Schumacher done all that he needed. He's had a clean getaway and got a 1.2 second lead off the start. Technique in P3, going to look to get that position back. Medium Pilot in P4, he's going to be lingering to try and pick up 2 positions down the Kemmel Straight. Everything else looks pretty clean. Hamilton just come out of the pits, but here we have technique on Fletcher. I don't think he's going to be close enough. Fletcher takes the defensive line. Ooh, contact! And that is going to force technique widening. That's going to allow me to try to go around the outside through turn 5. Or turn 4, whatever it is. Medium Pilot now up to P3. Fletcher up to P2. Technique had a horrible restart, gone from 2nd to 4th. The midfield is still very close as we have Lickle and Wayne battling. Lickle managing to hold on to that position. And Mir right on the back of Rafa through Puon. Schumacher has already got a 1.7 second lead. But here we have a kind of train from behind Rafa. And Mir is going to be close enough to have a look into the bus stop. Is he going to go for a lunge? No, he's not. Any moves going on behind? No. So Fletcher sets the Schumacher sets the fast up the race. Fletcher with Medium Pilot all over his rear end. And Medium Pilot's going to be close enough to go for a move down the Kemmel Straight. If he can keep it clean through Rouge and Radiant, which he has. Then he's picked up a penalty. He's really dropped off the back of these two. 2 seconds behind. CPR Fletcher's going to go defensive. Medium Pilot's going to go to the outside line. Can he hold it? No, he can't. He decides to back out. Going to go for a switchback kind of though, but that's not really going to work there. What do we have going on behind? We have a lot of battling. Rafa on the back of technique. And Amir might actually look for a lunge onto Rafa. And he has. Is he going to make the move work? Yes, he is. Wow, good move there. Oh, no, never mind. As Wayne in the background gets very wiggly. Abiodun behind all these guys, not too close. as Schumacher's got that 2.5 second lead to play with, and technique. Amir, Rafa, Lickle, everybody. Look at this incredible battle in here at Spa. All my cars so close to each other. I can't even process in my brain what's going on here. I think Lickle's made a move on technique. I think Wayne's going to make a move on technique. Going to look for a move on Lickle as well, but he's going to back out of that. Yellow flag in sector 3. We have Deneen off. Let's get him back on board with this battle though. Technique really dropping down the field. Is Wayne going to go for a move on Lickle? No, he's not. Avion's gone for a move on technique though. I don't think that move's going to work. At least not now anyway. Rathron's a bit wide at the top of Radion. That's 3 wide behind nearly. They are 3 wide behind. Sterling West's going to look for a move on technique, but that's not going to work. Avion's going to look for a move on Sterling West. Sterling West chops off Avion's front wing. Lickle up the inside of Rafa. They're going to be side by side coming into No Name. And Lickle's going to get the move done. Great move there from Lickle. Wayne's going to be looking to make a move as well on Rafa, but he's going to have to wait at least a few corners because there are no off-taking opportunities at the minute. Can Sterling West look from on technique? No, not quite, not yet anyway. It's Lickle on Amir. Should be close enough to go for a move into the bus stop. But he's going to have to watch out behind for Rafa and Wayne as Amir runs a bit wide. That might be a warning. I'm not sure if these guys are going to be able to make to the end. Lickle going to look for a move on Amir. Oh, Jesus. Rafa coming from an absolute mile back. That's going to allow Wayne to make a move, but Lickle gets a bit of oversteer on traction. That's going to allow Rafa to have a look. Rafa's going to go deep. There's going to be a minimal contact. Sterling West is going to pick up a penalty. They're side by side into a Rouge. Please do not make it 3 wide. And they all decide to make it single file. Rafa gets a bit there's a mid corner understeer. Lickle side by side. Wayne going to pick up a double slipstream. Wayne to the outside. Rafa defensive. Lickle outside. Wayne in the middle. Lickle breaks late. Going to look to go around the outside. That's not going to work. Can Wayne make it around the outside? Yeah, he can. As Wayne gets really bad oversteer. Yellow flags in sector 2. Avioden has retired. I'll have a look to see where I can see this. And he has gone into the wall heavily on the exit of that corner. So only 10 runners left now. Because Deneen has left a second. Sterling West over the back of technique. Rafa getting an incredible run on the mirror. Gonna have to back out though because Bunchman's not a place you want to be making a move. Little's probably gonna have a good angle of this battle. Rafa decided not to go for anything at the minute. Don't think he's gonna be close enough to turn one either. So 4-car train, and kind of just like a slipstream trend. Is actually a medium pilot and C5 Fletcher battling. These four are all kind of in a stalemate. Lickle runs wide. Is that going to allow Wayne to have a look? It is, but he's not going to be able to make anything of it. Still, 4-car train. Fletcher runs a bit wide. Can medium pilot get a move done? He's going to be able to have a run. Going to look for it into the bus stop. Around the outside. Going to break a bit earlier than Fletcher. Let's have a look at this battle here though. Nothing really going on here. We'll go back on board with the battle for second. Wayne. Locking up. I'm going to do some stopping time. Lickle holds onto the position though, gets the oversteer through there. Ooh, Wayne. Very dodgy. As actually medium pilot's got the inside line on Fletcher. Terrible camera angle. And medium pilot gets the move done. Great overtake. And he overtakes here. No. Sterling West on technique though. Nice overtake for T8. Big contact. Rafa basically pushing them around this circuit now. And Mir goes a bit deep. Rafa corner cuts and gets a penalty. So we could have a double overtake here. Wayne on Lickle and Rafa on Amir. We're going to see it. No, neither go for the move. Rafa's going to try to get a good exit and go for it into turn 1. That's not going to work out as he would hope. Oh, Rafa! Rafa into the wall. Huge damage for the Red Bull. Oh, horrible for the Red Bull driver. Going to lose out on P8 as well. Got severe damage. That's going to lift the pressure on the Mir though, so hopefully he can try and pull away from Lickle and Wayne. They'll go deep once again. That's going to allow Wayne to have a little peek up the inside. Goes deep again. Wayne's got an incredible run out of P1. He's going to probably back out of it though, because there isn't really anywhere to overtake through here. Wayne harassing Lickle's rear end. Lickle gets oversteer. Wayne's gonna get the inside line into Blanchimon. Can they hold it? No, we can't. Medium Pilot and Fletcher are in. Still seems to be taking the option to pit. There's actually Sterling West having a look at Little. Dry tyres. Rafa and VG Hamilton in as well. Lickle! Oh! Overtake from Sterling West now for P4. Lickle going to try and hold it. He is going to hold it actually. And Sterling West is going to get moved done eventually though. Yellow flag in sector 1. It's VG Hamilton who's binned it coming out of the pits. So, not the best showing from him. Are we going to see our leaders pit? Fletcher Medium Pilot going at it on the dry tyres. And Schumacher is in. Actually, Mir has damage. Not quite sure where that came from. That's probably going to be a front wing change for our driver in P2. DRS enabled. What tyres is everyone going to go on to? So horrible from me with that front wing change. He's lost a lot of positions. Nick Laws has a wing change. In fact, Medium Pilot has damage. I think. Yeah, he does. Amir on technique, using the DRS for the first time this race. So you tried to pick up a penalty after putting Caruso at the end of his race. How bad is Medium Pilot's damage? Oh, that's quite bad understeer. Wayne past Medium Pilot. Sterling West got the look as well. Oh, Sterling West brakes late, not late enough. So Medium Pilot with that damage is just going to have to cruise it to the pits. But Sterling West going to get that DRS on Medium Pilot. I don't know if Medium Pilot's going to be close enough. It's going to be close. He is. Oh, just, I think. Sterling West actually picking up a penalty. Medium Pilot does have DRS, but I don't think it's going to be enough to save him down the straight. say a lot. Yeah. AI cards mean. Liquid doesn't seem to have much pace. So probably running a wet setup. Schumacher's fast flat flex picks up another penalty. That could be crucial come the end of this race. So actually Sterling West is making a move on Wayne. Sterling West seems to be on a mission. Raff is on a move as well. Little make a move on the mirror. And he has done so. Quite easily as well. Nickel now after medium pilot, who has got that very bad wing damage. Amir picking up a penalty, I don't think that's really going to play too much. Maybe in his attempt to beat Lickle and medium pilot, it might play a part. Rafa sets another fastest lap, so he really is pushing. Technique on Wayne. Wow, incredible straight line speed. And Lickle on medium pilot. Rafa picks up a penalty. Wayne actually staying in touch with technique. Wayne might actually have a look back at technique this time by. Schumacher picks up another penalty, but it's not really going to bother him. Sledge picks up a penalty. Oh, that could be crucial to the standings at the end of this race. So Schumacher on his final lap. Can Wayne make a move? No, think so. Technique has caught up to Sterling West. Actually, Amir and Lickle are battling. Amir was off the track there. So Amir really applying that pressure onto the back of Lickle on this last lap. Oh, Technique picked up a penalty, that's probably crucial. So does Lickle. A lot of penalties on this final lap. He's going to be able to make a move into the bus stop. Oh, so actually Schumacher already crossed the line. Wow, sorry I missed that. But Schumacher's won here in Belgium. So far in front, 24 or 3 seconds. Absolutely incredible race from him. What a drive. Fletcher is going to come home in P2, but I'm not sure if penalty is going to change anything. Let's have a look here between Amir and Lickle side by side. And yes, Amir's got it. But Sterling West is going to take P2, Technique P3, Wayne P4, Fletcher P6, Medium Pilot P4. Oh wow, well, I'm going to have to check that after the race because a lot of positions just changed there at the end. So your final, well, your provisional race result for Belgium is going to be, as we see Schumacher celebrating on the podium there. So your provisional race results for round 7 are Schumacher first, Sterling West second, Technique third, Medium Pilot fourth, Wayne fifth, Fletcher sixth, Lickle seventh, Amir eighth, and Rafa ninth. So thank you for joining us for a very exciting Belgian Grand Prix here in SFR. Wait, no, not SFR, sorry, FRS. Confusion. So yeah, hopefully I can see you all here next week for, let me check what round it is. Next week we will be heading to Monza. So thank you everybody for watching and see you next week.